Hey guys, Henry Akins here at Dynamix Martial Arts in West LA. Here with my friends Sean and Don, and I'm just going to explain a little bit about the mount position, especially when you're dealing with striking, and go over one of the escapes or one of the techniques that we use to kind of deal with when you get mounted and you have an opponent on top of you whose intention is to strike you. So I'm going to start out with Don, just to kind of show you guys the mount position. So if you lay down, Don. So Don, you're 5'6", I'm 6'1". So the mount position is one of the worst positions you can get into in a fight, because from here I have the ability to hit my opponent and he can't hit me back. Now, even though Don is much shorter than me, if we exchange positions, so if I'm here and he's sitting up, I can't hit him and he can hit me. So it doesn't have to do with his, arms being longer. He's much shorter than me, right? But what you can see is from this position, it's really difficult for me to do damage to him, and it's really easy for him to do damage to me because he has better control of distance. The other thing too is from this position, he has all of his body weight coming behind his attacks. Okay, so his punches are going to do a lot more damage than my punches, which are just arm strength. So from here, obviously this is a really, really bad position. The worst thing, one of the worst things that you can do when you get mounted is put your hands up. And this is actually a natural reaction for most people. This is kind of instinct for most people, is to try to put your hands up. But the thing is, with Don throwing strikes, even if I cover up, if he's punching, there's always going to be an opening. Maybe by my chin there might be an opening now, right? Yes. If I cover like this, there's openings to the side. So no matter how I put my hands, there's always going to be openings for him to be able to do damage. Okay? So the main thing for me when I get mounted is I want to keep my elbows down by my side. Now this is a really, really scary thing to do because instinctually we always want to cover up our face. The reason that I keep my elbows down is because I want to keep his hips above my hips. Okay? As soon as my elbows come up, if he walks his knees up, what happens now is any movement of my hip has zero effect on his balance. So he's now free to sit there and throw strikes, and eventually punches are going to get through my defense, right? No matter how I put my hands, there's always going to be punches that are going to get through. Okay. So thanks, Don. Use Sean. So Sean's a lot bigger, and how big are you, Sean?
5'11", 180.
5'11", 180. So just from Sean mounting, he's almost my height, right? You can see there's a huge difference in reach advantage just from this position. So if I try to punch him, he's always going to be able to hit me first. He's always going to have better range. I'm not going to be able to hit him. Even if I lean up to hit him, his punches are always going to hit me and they're going to do way more damage. Okay. So the first thing I always want to do is I always want to glue my elbows down to my side, keep my feet as close as I can to my butt, and the first thing I always want to do is lift my hips. Okay. So what that does is with my elbows down, it keeps his hips above my hips. As soon as I lift my hips, it makes him fall forward. Okay. So now what I've done is I've taken away his balance. You're off balance, right? There's no way can you lean back, sit back and punch. It's a lot harder. So thing is, you can take one hand off the ground right now, but can you take both hands off the ground?
No, I'll just keep flowing.
Yeah, so that's the main thing we want to do is try to take away the opponent's balance. Okay, so elbows down, and it keeps his hips above my hips, feet as close as I can to my butt. The closer my feet are to my butt, the higher I can lift my hips. So elbows down, I lift my hips, and now when I lift my hips, I keep my hips up. Okay, because if I drop my hips, it means he can take his hands off the ground again. So once I lift my hips, I keep my hips up. Now if he tries to punch, I know he can only punch with one hand. So when he goes to reach back and punch, all I'm going to do is just block his hand. This brought him a lot closer to me, so now my arm can actually trap his arm. So now if you try to touch my face, just touch my face. Go hard. Hard. Pull your arm back. Touch. Go. Go. So at least I can block. And what I do is I usually, when he reaches his hand back, I go with a monkey hand. So I can grab and cup so that he can't pull his arm back. Pull your arm back. and try to touch my face. So I'm just using my frame. There's no strength here in my arm. I'm just using my frame, my structure, to kind of block his punch. Okay? Now, with my hips up, can you take this hand off the ground? You feel like you're gonna fall, right?
Yeah.
So all of his weight is on his hand. That means now it's easy for me to trap the arm. Okay? Yeah, turn your hand upside down and bridge him over. So, like I said, there's a lot of escapes and there's a lot of ways to deal with this position when you get mounted, how to defend yourself from striking. Some people like to kick the guy forward and hold belly down. The problem, the reason I don't like this so much is because sometimes the guy can sit up and he still has his balance available and starts to use a frame to punch. So I like to keep my elbows down and immediately lift my hips. And I keep my hips up. Okay. My hips break, it allows him to get his balance back. So now, depending on where he wants to touch, so whatever hand you want, I just reach up and block. Second hand will come and trap. Okay. And the thing is, if the arm is far away, so put your arm a little bit over here, Sean. So let's say you try to reach and punch me with this hand, right? If his arm is far away, there's a couple different ways that I can deal with it. So obviously all his weight is in his hand. I can't bring his hand to me. One of the things I can do is I can push his hand out and bridge. So instead of trying to pull the hand to me, I can actually push it away. So if you put your hand out far, there's no way I'm going to be able to bring it. I can push by his wrist and bridge him. Or when I lift my hips up, so you see how he's already falling? Okay. If it's close enough to me, what I do is as I wrap, I'll wiggle myself to the arm. So once I'm here, feet on the ground, hips go up, right? Try to touch my face, it doesn't matter what side. Good. When I reach around and grab, right? Put your hand, put your hand up. So if it's far away, I'll push it out, right? And I can bridge. Or if it's a little bit closer, right? Even though I can't bring it to me, just keep your hand planted with a lot of weight on there. So I can't bring it to me. What I'll do is I just wiggle my body. So I'll just walk with my feet and my shoulders. So I just keep my hips up and I move myself with my feet and my shoulders to the wrist. So this keeps him off balance the whole time and keeps his hand planted on the ground. So he can't lift that hand up. The other arm is blocked from punching me and all his weight's in his hand to kind of prevent punches. So it's just one of the techniques we practice when we're dealing with punches, is to immediately off balance your opponent and get him to put his hands on the ground. So it makes it a lot more difficult for him to punch. And also, if he does go for a punch, he doesn't have all of his body weight coming into it. It's mostly just arm strength because he's posted on his hand and he's just punching with his arm instead of coming with all of his weight crashing down.